Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a collab with Leah Graham. Leah is a very good YouTube friend of mine. I belong to a few groups. She is decades younger than me, but we're both doing skincare. Actually, this is Leah's doing a little take on the 12 days of Christmas, and she is doing 12 days of collabs. She has asked 12 of her YouTube friends to join her, and each one of us has a different subject. Today is skincare, so Leah will be doing skincare and I'll be doing skincare. Her link is below, and it's a great way to meet Leah as well as 12 new YouTubers, so I hope you enjoy that. So, didn't she pick the right person for skincare? And, you know, I mentioned that she's so much younger than me because hers is probably going to be a 5-minute video, and my age takes a village, as they say. So, here we go. I hope you enjoy this. I'll try to be as quick as possible because I tend to go off on tangents and want to explain why I do and how it works and things, but I'm going to try to focus on what I use. I am rarely brand specific. I am much more process specific. I am process committed. That's what I'm loyal to. The brands can change, the products can change, but the action is what I am looking for. The efficacy is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to start with the PM. Don't know why, but I'm going to start with the PM. I have my puppy in here with me, so he may be making a little noise. I always start with cleansing. I happen to use and have used for, this is, I had mentioned there are very few things I'm loyal to. I am loyal to Purity. Purity by Philosophy. I've used this, I think maybe since it launched 20 years ago. Is it longer? Is it shorter? But I have used this forever. It takes off all my makeup. It leaves me feeling clean. I don't get irritated from it. I will tell you that my trick is that I use a full pump of this. This is a 32-ounce size. I put it on dry hands, apply it like a makeup remover to dry face, and I really rub it in, and then I wet my hands, cleanse as usual, maybe a little bit more at that point, and rinse, and everything comes off. I have tested to see if it's clean, either because I've used a white towel or, you know, I don't use a toner at all, but sometimes I'll use cleansing water. But anyway, for me, this works, and so that's what I use. The next step is Retin A. I use prescription Retin A. Now you can, again, I'm sorry, this is about me. I use prescription Retin A. I use 0.5% on my face, and I use 0.1, a stronger one, on my neck, because my neck is really becoming problematic the last 2 years. So I use that, and once that dries, I then use a peptide serum. I use a multi-peptide neuropeptide serum, and at the moment I happen to be using a ridiculously expensive one, but because I bought it on QVC as a today's special value in a kit, it actually became quite reasonable as far as strong peptide creams go. Peptides kind of are action. They're action oriented. There's so many of them. They tighten, they firm, they reduce wrinkles, they take away age spots, they texturize, they do a lot. There's so many of them. So I like one that has lots and lots and lots of different peptides and neuropeptides, and they are small enough to really penetrate in terms of the molecules. So right now I'm using Dr. Perricone. I have used Peter Thomas Roth's. I have used Dr. Janess's. I've used others, and it just depends on who's having a great special on a day and a great, you know, great whatever. If I hear of one that's recommended and I can find a coupon, or they're having some Cyber Monday special. But I then do a peptide. Now, on the nights that I don't use my Retin A, one night I use Retin A, the other night I use an exfoliator. It could be an enzyme exfoliator, it could be a chemical exfoliator, it could be, that's the night I'm going to be doing my derma rolling, but one night is my Retin A, the next night is an exfoliator of some type of chemical or enzyme or derma rolling. So I'll be doing that. And then after that is all done, I will do moisturizer And I have oily skin, so I just use kind of a regular moisturizer. I tend to be using right now Algenist. It's just, it absorbs, it moisturizes heavily. I do like Hope in a Jar. Sometimes I will use Origins Vitamins, Origins Vitamins, because it also has a very gentle exfoliator in there. It depends on which jar I reach for, but those are the three that I typically use at night. Now, I bring the moisturizer down to my neck, and sometimes I use a neck cream. I also bring the peptide serum down, so I do that. And if I'm using an exfoliating cream or anything, I will bring that down. So everything I do down to my neck. The only difference is on the neck, I use a stronger, on the nights I use right now, it's stronger on my neck. And I do use neck creams. Probably more nights than most. Some nights I just bring my moisturizer down. You know, you're tired, you don't want to open another jar, while you're putting it on your face, you just bring it kind of down. So, but I do tend to use neck creams because they do tend to be more emollient. With oily skin, I don't use a very emollient nighttime moisturizer, but I need something more emollient that will actually stick to my neck. So I do use a neck cream most of the time. Then we go into the AM routine. Now, the AM routine, again, always use Purity, and most mornings I use a manual exfoliator, and I love this. I talked about this a few months ago, like as a new favorite discovery, and if I were to do a favorites of 2016, I don't think I will, but if I were, this product would be in here. It's by Bare Minerals, and it's called Mix Exfoliate Smooth. That's the name of it. And what it is it's like a fine grit. And if you have very sensitive skin, you just use a little. If you have more tolerant skin, you can use more. You can transfer this into a salt shaker and tape some of the holes. I love this. I pump the Purity in my hand. I pour this first, rub my hands together, and I exfoliate. The reason I use manual exfoliation most mornings is because the night previous, I either used Retin-A or I used a chemical exfoliator. So chances are I might have a little flakiness, or because I'm so diligent about it, I rarely look flaky, but I know there's dead skin that's just ready to come off. And I don't want it to come off at 11 o'clock. I want it off in the morning. And I want my skin to be brighter during the day and smoother during the day. So I do exfoliate with this and my Purity most mornings. You can use a washcloth. Again, this is about me, it's what I do. So that's what I do in the morning. Then I apply my eye cream. Now, did I talk about my eye cream at night? All right, we're going to do both right now. My eye cream at night is extremely emollient. I have Sahara Dry, uber sensitive under eye area. I can't use any retinol, even the weakest formula that you buy, over the counter. I can't use anything, so I need a very, very emollient. I use Shiseido Benefiance or Kiehl's Rosa Arctica. Love them both. In the winter, I also add Japanese camellia seed oil. My eyes, they will just get red and flake and swollen. They are so, so dry. So that's at night. Back to the morning routine. I use either the Algenist regular original white eye balm. It absorbs beautifully. It goes on smoothly, and concealer goes over it very nicely. I also like Clinique All About Eyes. Can't use the All About Eyes Rich. It stays too tacky for me, even with my very, very dry eyes. I wish I could, but the concealer doesn't go on very well. I got to trade yin and yang of life. The other one that I do like also is the Clinique Laser Focus. I'm using that right now, and I'm really liking it. It might kick the Clinique All About Eyes out of the ball game, but I do use my eye cream, and I need one that is emollient but doesn't stay tacky, so that I can go ahead and apply my concealer over it. So then, after I do my eye cream, I make a little cocktail of my vitamin C serum as well as my antioxidant serum. It's quicker to put them both in my hand, rub them together, and then put it all over my face. So during the day, I use an antioxidant serum because it protects me. It repairs, but it also protects me from all the free radicals. Again, it's in my skincare series, but that is something that I use during the day. I don't use it at night. At night I like the peptides because they're worker bees, and my skin is ready to work. It's at rest. It's not being attacked by the sun and pollution and stress and lighting and the office and people and whatever. So I like to use an antioxidant to protect against all that, whereas at night I like the worker bees because my space is at rest and my worker bees can really get the job done without all that sun and pollution and stress interfering in them. And then everything I just put on my face, I brought down. So the vitamin C and the antioxidant I brought down to my neck. And most days during the day, I don't use a separate moisturizer because of my oily skin. It just depends on the season, but typically my antioxidant serum and my SPF will have enough moisture for my skin. And that brings me to my last step, which is my SPF. Right now I'm using Paula's Choice Wrinkle Resist SPF 30 Light, which is great for oily skin. And I have just discovered the Shiseido Ultimate Sun Protection Lotion SPF 50. I'm really liking this, and it's working on my oily skin. And I like that it's a 50. And I bring that down to my neck. So last thing I want to address in my AM routine is neck cream. I tend to use a neck cream only because I don't use a moisturizer on my face, and even if I did, it would not be a heavy one. Same thing at night. I like a stronger, more emollient cream on my neck because this is really my problem area. So I do use a neck cream, but all during the day I am applying something. I use all those samples, those packets, those little hand creams, eye creams that I got as samples, face cream. I don't care if it's a moisturizer, if it's an SPF, whatever it is. I throw them in my desk. I throw them in my person all day long. Every 3 or 4 hours, I'll take one and rub it to my neck. I'm trying to take care of my neck all day long. So it's not just an AM, PM. It's also all day long. Okay, last things to talk about. Twice a week, I do a mask, a peel, or a deep scrub. Could be a moisturizing mask, could be enzyme peel, could be a chemical more kind of peel. I will tell you that I have a number of favorites. But if I had to recommend one, the thing is in my opinion, you have to use this before a shower because it is almost impossible to rinse off all the little scrubbies. This is by Serious Skincare. It's called Glycolic Gommage. To me, it is very, very similar to Kate, what is her name? Exfoliate. Kate Somerville, is that her name? Which is very pricey. You can find these on eBay because there's a lot of resellers. HSN usually has this in kits for a great price, standalone price. Not that it's pricey, but you could do way better on eBay with this. And what it is it's 3 powerhouses. It's got glycolic, so it might sting you a little. It's got clay in it, so it's going to pull the gunk out. The glycolic will take off the dead skin, all that glue that holds the dead skin cells onto your face. And then it's got millions of tiny little scrubbies, like microdermabrasion. You put it on your face, you let it dry 10 or 15 minutes, let the clay do its thing, let the glycolic do its thing, and then you rinse it off and you feel all the scrubbies really getting all that dead skin off. Again, I strongly recommend doing this before you hop in the shower because I would have to be at my sink forever trying to rinse off the little gritty things. So this is my favorite. But I have some that are just clay by Boscia. I have enzyme mask, moisturizing mask by Alba Botanicals. I think it's pineapple enzymes. I have a moisturizing mask. So I have all kinds of masks. It just depends. I like to mix it up. And one of my very favorite masks that I use is actually organic honey. I love it. Now, I don't do the Manuka honey from New Zealand. I know there's claims that, their honey from the Manuka plants is better and more antibacterial. And maybe if you're acneic, it might be more important, but I think my USBs are just fine. And this is raw organic. It's in its raw state. It's kind of creamy looking. I use a foundation brush to put it on. Thin layer. Otherwise, the heat of your skin will start to melt and it'll start to droop off. It rinses off like a dream with warm water. It's not sticky at all. Applying it, yes, that's why I use a foundation brush, just an old one. But this is raw organic honey, so it's, unpasteurized, unprocessed, on this, on that. And I love it. It is smoothing, it is moisturizing, it is balancing, it is antiviral, it's soothing. It just leaves my face feeling nourished and plump and happy. So that's kind of what I do. So twice a week, again, a weekly, twice a week, Sunday, Wednesday, whatever, much more deeper spa-like treatment. I hope you found this helpful. I will tell you that for 2017, one of my beauty resolutions is to begin using a deep chemical but at-home peel. I'm not going to go to the spa, but the real ones where you're going to be peeling and it burns and you're fanning yourself for 5 minutes and, doing the countdown and praying to everybody in heaven for it to end. But 2017, that is one of my beauty resolutions, is to begin using a peel. I think as you get older, every few years you kind of have to look and say, is there something I can skip? Is there something I need to increase? Is there something more I need to do? And I'm deciding to go the chemical peel, so maybe TCA peels, maybe 50% glycolic peels, and we'll talk more about that. Enjoy the rest of your day. Please check out Leah and all of the other 12 that eventually will be doing this with her for the first 12 days of December. Thank you so much for stopping in. If you have questions, of course, about anything, please leave them below. Thanks.